Fractions without a common denominator, type 2. We have 5/6 plus 3/14. Now, what makes this different from type 1, 6 will not divide into 14 without a remainder. Type 2, 6 and 14 share a common factor. And here's how we determine the factors. We take 14 and factor it to prime numbers. Take 6 and factor it to prime numbers. Now, the least common denominator, the LCD, has both of the factors from 14, 2 times 7, and it has to have all of the factors from 6. Now, the 2 from the 2 times 3 is already in 2 times 7. You do not have to show that 2 twice. And then we bring the 3 down. So our least common denominator is 2 times 7 times 3, or 42. So now we set this up. 5/6 plus 3/14. Common denominator is 42. Now, 6 divides into 42 7 times. So here we have 6 times 7 equals 42. Now, using that 7 in the numerator, 5 times 7 gives us our new numerator. For the next fraction, 14 divides into 42. 14 divides into 42 3 times. So that multiplies. 14 times 3 is 42. We did that so we can multiply the numerator by 3. 3 times 3 is 9. There's our equivalent fraction. So we add these together. 35 over 42 plus 9 over 42 equals, there's our common denominator, 42. 35 plus 9, adding the numerators, is 44. Now, 44 and 42 have a common factor of 2. That means we have to reduce this. 44 divided by 2 is 22. 42 divided by 2 is 21. There's our reduced fraction. Now, 22 over 21 is an improper fraction, but that's fine. Just leave it as an improper fraction. Here's another example. 11 over 84 plus 7 over 20. 84 and 20 will not divide into 84 without remainder, but 84 and 20 have common factors. So let's take 84 and 20 and factor them. Now, 84, 4 times 21, 4 is 2 times 2, 21 is 3 times 7. 20 is 4 times 5. 4 is 2 times 2, 5 is prime. So our least common denominator has 2 times 2 times 3 times 7. All of the factors of 84 are listed. Now, the factors of 20. 2 is already listed in our least common denominator. This second 2 from the 20 is also listed. All we have to bring down is the 5. So our least common denominator is 420. So we take 11 over 84 plus 7 over 20. List our new common denominator for our equivalent fraction. Now, 20 divides into 420 21 times. 20 times 21 is 420. So I have to multiply the numerator by that same 21. 7 times 21 is 147. 84 divides into 420 5 times. So 84 times 5 is 420. I multiply the numerator by that same 5. 11 times 5 is 55. Now, I can add the equivalent fractions. 55 over 420 plus 147 over 420. 420, there's our common denominator. 55 plus 147 is 202. Now, again, both of these, the numerator 202 and the denominator 420, are both divisible by 2. So we factor out that common factor. We divide it out. 202 divided by 2 is 101. 420 divided by 2 is 210. There's our answer, 101 over 210. We'll do one more example. 7 over 30 minus 5 over 126. 30 will not divide into 126 without remainder, but they have a common factor, at least a 2. So, we're going to factor these. We're going to factor 30, and we're going to factor 126 to prime numbers. 30, 5 times 6, 5 is prime, 6 is 2 times 3. 126, 2 times 63. 2 is prime, 63, 9 times 7. So we have 2, 9 factors to 3 times 3, and the 7. Now, our least common denominator will have all of the factors of 30. So 2 times 3 times 5. There's the 3 factors. And we can multiply those in any order, so I just put them from least to greatest out of habit. Now, the second denominator, the 126, there's the 2, there's the 3. Now, this next 3, we don't have 2 3's in this least common denominator, so we have to multiply that next 3 in. We don't have a 7, so we have to multiply the 7 in. So our least common denominator is 630. 630 is the first number on the number line that both 30 and 126 will divide into without remainder. So now we can find our equivalent fraction. 7 over 30 minus 5 over 126. Our common denominator is 630. Now, 30 divides into 630 21 times. 21 times 7 for our numerator gives us 147. 147 over 630 is our equivalent fraction. Now, 126 divides into 630 5 times. So 126 times 5 is 630. Multiply the numerator by the same number, so that's negative 25. So 147 over 630 minus 25 over 630 equals 122 over 630. And again, there's a common factor, 2. So we have to divide the 2 out. So 122 divided by 2 is 61. 630 divided by 2 is 315. Cannot be reduced any further, so there's our answer in reduced form. Now, to sum this up, type 2 fractions, they will have a common factor. That factor is in both denominators, and will only be shown in the least common denominator once. So type 2, it'll have a common factor.